You served. You separated. And now someone asks what health insurance you have, and you honestly do not know whether you still have TRICARE or whether you need something else. That confusion is not your fault. The system makes it almost impossible to figure out.
I have watched people separate after 20 years and still not understand which TRICARE plan they are actually on. Prime, Select, Reserve Select, for life. 4 plans with 4 different cost structures.
Wait, so TRICARE is not just one thing. I thought it was like one insurance card and you are either in or you are not.
TRICARE covers approximately 9.6 million beneficiaries worldwide. The plan you are on depends entirely on your status, and the costs range from $0 to over $1,000 a year.
This is VA Benefits 1.38. Today we are breaking down all 4 TRICARE plans, what they actually cost in 2026, and the one plan that turns TRICARE into a Medicare supplement most retirees do not know about. That part is coming up later in this video. Here is who is with me today.
George here. I have seen how this kind of thing plays out, and it is something.
I'm Nova. I love when the numbers tell a story people miss.
Emma here. I stayed up way too late researching this. Worth it.
Great team. Let us get into it.
Let me lay out the 4 plans because each one serves a different population. TRICARE Prime is the managed care option. It works like an HMO with a primary care manager and required referrals for specialists.
For active duty, Prime is mandatory and costs nothing. 0 enrollment fee, 0 copays, 0 deductible. That changes the day you retire.
So when you retire, you suddenly have to start paying for something that was free your entire career. How much are we talking about, George?
TRICARE Select is Plan 2. Think of it like a PPO. You can see any TRICARE authorized provider without a referral. More flexibility, but higher cost sharing.
Plan 3 is TRICARE Reserve Select. This is specifically for Guard and Reserve members who are not on active duty orders. You pay a monthly premium to maintain coverage between activations.
And Plan 4 is TRICARE for life. This is the one most people do not understand until they are about to turn 65. It is a Medicare wraparound that covers what Medicare does not. Enrollment is automatic if you have Medicare Part A and Part B, no separate enrollment form required.
4 plans. Prime for managed care, Select for flexibility, Reserve Select for Guard and Reserve, for life for Medicare, eligible retirees.
Okay, Nova, everyone says TRICARE is cheap compared to civilian insurance. But what do the numbers actually look like? Because cheap is relative.
Let me give you the 2026 numbers. TRICARE Prime for Group A retirees costs $382 per year individual. That is $32 a month. Family plan is $765 a year.
Compare that to civilian employer sponsored insurance, where the average family premium is over $24,000 a year. Even after the employer contribution, most families pay $6,000 or $7,000 out of pocket just for premiums.
Now here is where it gets confusing. Group A and Group B. If your initial enlistment or appointment began before January 1, 2018, you are Group A. On or after that date, Group B.
So younger service members who joined more recently are paying more. That seems like it should be a bigger deal.
TRICARE Select enrollment for Group A retirees is $187 per year individual. That is less than $16 a month for PPO-style coverage.
And Reserve Select is $57.88 per month for the member alone, or $286.66 for the whole family. Monthly premium, not annual. Still far below the civilian marketplace.
Stick with me here, because the transition rules coming up next are where most people lose their coverage without realizing it.
This is the scene where I have watched careers worth of benefits disappear. When you separate from active duty, your TRICARE Prime coverage ends.
The Transitional Assistance Management Program, or TAMP, provides 180 days of premium-free TRICARE coverage after separation. That covers you and your eligible family members.
180 days. So you have 6 months to figure out your next move. But what happens on day 181, George?
On day 181, TAMP ends. If you are a retiree, you can enroll in TRICARE Prime or Select. If you are Guard or Reserve, you may qualify for Reserve Select. If you are neither, you can purchase the Continued Healthcare Benefit Program for 18 to 30, 6 months of temporary coverage.
Now here is what most people miss. If you have a VA disability rating and you are enrolled in VA healthcare, you can use both VA Care and TRICARE. They are two separate systems run by two separate departments. The VA handles service, connected conditions. TRICARE handles everything else.
There is one critical rule. The VA must not bill TRICARE for treatment of a service-connected condition. That care comes from the VA. For non-service, connected care at a VA facility, TRICARE pays up to 20% of the allowable charge.
The practical takeaway is this: use VA healthcare for your service, connected conditions. Use TRICARE for everything else. Having both gives you the widest safety net available.
Here is the question I know a lot of people are thinking. What is the difference between TRICARE and CHAMPVA? Both cover dependents and both are government programs.
They are mutually exclusive. If you are eligible for TRICARE, you cannot have CHMPA. TRICARE is a Department of Defense program. CHMPA is a Department of Veterans Affairs program.
In practice, TRICARE covers active duty families, retiree families, and survivors of sponsors who died on active duty. CHAMPA covers dependents of veterans rated 100% permanent and total who are not TRICARE eligible.
The overlap that confuses people is surviving spouses. If a service member dies on active duty, the family gets TRICARE, not CHAMPVA.
And if a 100% P and T veteran dies years later from a service-connected condition,
the surviving spouse may get CHAMPVA, but only if they do not already have TRICARE eligibility through another source.
And here is the part most retirees approaching 65 miss. TRICARE for life requires Medicare Part A and Part B. The standard Part B premium in 2026 is $202.90 per month.
I have seen retirees skip Medicare Part B enrollment because they thought TRICARE would just keep covering them. It does not. No Part B at 65 means no TRICARE coverage. Full stop.
If you forget everything else from today, remember this. Know which plan you are on, know when your coverage changes, and sign up for Medicare Part B at least 2 months before you turn 65.
Let me bring this full circle. 4 plans, each built for a different stage of your military career. Prime for managed care, Select for flexibility. Reserve Select for Guard and Reserve. For Life for Medicare, eligible retirees at 65.
The numbers to remember. Prime costs $382 a year for Group A retirees. Select costs $187. Reserve Select is $57.88 per month.
And like George said earlier, TAMP gives you 180 days of free coverage after separation. After that, you need to actively choose a plan, or you fall through the cracks.
TRICARE and CHAMPVA are mutually exclusive. Use VA healthcare for service, connected conditions, and TRICARE for everything else. And if you are approaching 65, Medicare Part B enrollment is not optional.
Next video, we cover UCRA, the Uniformed Services Employment and Re-Employment Rights Act. That is the federal law that protects your civilian job when you get called to serve. VA Benefits 1.39.
Drop in the comments which TRICARE plan you are on, and whether the costs have surprised you. If you have used both TRICARE and VA healthcare, we want to hear how you made it work.
If this series is helping you understand benefits you have earned, subscribe. We are covering every major military benefit so nothing gets left on the table.
Always verify everything with TRICARE.mil, VA.gov, or an accredited Veterans Service Organization.
Okay, it is quiz time. Let's find out what stuck. Think through each question carefully before you answer.
If this video is worth your time, a like and subscribe is worth 2 seconds of yours. We will see you in the next one.
A military retiree who enlisted in 2010 is comparing TRICARE Prime and TRICARE Select enrollment fees for 2026. Which fee group are they in, and which plan has the lower annual enrollment fee? The correct answer is B. They are in Group A because they enlisted before January 1, 2018. TRICARE Select has the lower fee at $187 per year compared to Prime at $382.
A service member separates from active duty and wants to maintain health coverage for their family. What temporary coverage program provides premium, free TRICARE benefits after separation, and how long does it last? The correct answer is B. The Transitional Assistance Management Program provides 180 days of premium, free TRICARE coverage for the member and eligible family members after separation.
A military retiree is about to turn 65 and currently has TRICARE Select. What must they do to keep TRICARE coverage, and what happens if they do not act? The correct answer is A. They must enroll in Medicare Part A and Part B before turning 65. If they do not have Medicare Part B, they lose all TRICARE coverage.
George here. The thing I keep coming back to is the transition gap. 180 days of TAMP goes fast. I have watched people burn through that window without picking a follow on plan, and suddenly their family has no coverage.
Nova here. The numbers matter. $382 a year for Prime, $187 for Select, $57.88 a month for Reserve Select. Know your numbers before your status changes.
Emma here. The biggest thing I learned today is that TRICARE and CHAMPVA are mutually exclusive. If you are confused about which one you qualify for, check your eligibility at TRICARE.mil.
The bottom line is this. TRICARE is one of the most valuable benefits in the military compensation package, but it only works if you understand which plan you are on and when your coverage changes. Next video, we cover USERA, the law that protects your civilian job when you get called to serve. If you are Guard, Reserve, or recently returned from deployment, that episode is for you. VA, Benefits 1.39.
If this series is helping you understand benefits you have earned, subscribe and share it with someone who needs it.
Professor Erica signing off.